Hello, my people. Today I make another video about shadow work, and this is definitely no shallow work. Yes, and yeah, as I said in my other video yesterday, I was checking out C.G. Jung's work, or some basic facts about what really this term coined by him means. So I got some clues and I got some news. I just want to make some claims, and then we see how the talk will unfold. See, school, when you go to school, it does not prepare you for what you want to do in society, but it prepares you for what society wants to do with you. I repeat this one more time. School prepares you for what society wants to do with you, but not for what you want to do in society. The school system has tendencies to adapt to the person and promote the strength or the abilities that a person has, the talents. But still, it's a very narrow system that is very, very, very focused. So it is definitely not trying to find out the true outstanding qualities of a person. And I think we all have abilities and shapes, and unique shapes and properties, but not this black and white thinking of strengths and weaknesses, And if we know how to use our abilities, this can determine whether it will be good or bad for society and for the individual, because often it's the same. A person who is toxic and abusive in society will also not truly be satisfied or happy with his own life, even though, this is a very complicated topic and I don't want to get distracted by it, So, but we can be sure, if you find out your abilities, and let's say something that is rather seen as negative, bad, this is your weakness. If you say somebody wants to dominate other people, you can learn. This would be considered a shadow, something that maybe the ego of the person denies to see. So the person will say, no, I'm not trying to dominate you. But when the person really looks within itself or listens to the feedback that other people give the person, it might find out that there is some truth in it. And then it could implement this part of his personality and use it in a way that our society, community can actually benefit from this, and nobody has to suffer from this, and the person itself will then even get positive feedback and credit if it is able to make good use of this ability and not use it unaware, uncontrolled, and thus in a malicious way. Of course, there is also a malicious way that is aware. So there are people who are fully aware that they are abusive and manipulative, and they do it. This is of course, but this is a different topic. These people have to be treated differently. If somebody doesn't even want to try to be a good person and being integrated in society, you can't help these people, kind of. Know what I'm saying? All right. So, also, I want to tell you that I observe different types of personalities, and some people are very straight. So, they are good at school, they're coming from a good family often, everything is almost too beautiful and too perfect, but then they always have these good graduations, and they get the perfect partner very soon, and they stick together forever, and then they marry, and they get that job they always dreamed of, and they are very successful, and they make these dream holidays, and so on, and it goes straight. And I think I will never understand this. I respect this, but I will never fully understand how you not even have to try in your life, how you not even obviously struggle in some ways, sometimes go redirect yourself, have to try out things. But, well, I think that these are exactly the people that sometimes, I remember a person that I met when I was on holiday in a nice place where you can reconsider and rearrange yourself, like this stuff, like a retreat in the mountains, something like that. And this person was already like in his 50s or something, and he was like, god damn, a beautiful person, like physically and mentally very, yeah, what means mentally beautiful? I mean, eloquent, educated, always had this straight beautiful life, biography, whatever. And then the person was like all about his purpose, so like a midlife crisis, but very late one. And everything seems, again, if you look on paper, it was all perfect in his life, but suddenly the person starts to think about purpose, and is kind of very, very, very late with all of this. And other people, and then there is people who get dropped out of school, are raised, without the parents, something like that, struggle in life, and try this and it doesn't work, get in these conflicts and trouble, and then they quiet, and somehow they tap in their purpose in a very young age, but it's so chaotic way, and they are happy with that, and they will not, when they are in this age, they will never look back and say, oh god damn, where is my purpose? They go the reverse way. So there's so many different ways. But then there are also people who seemingly living rather with really, dark, in the dark, on the occult side, like on the dark side, which means they are abusive, they have these struggles with being suicidal, or if they are not suicidal, then they pretended openly to be suicidal in order to manipulate other people and to get attention. And I don't know what's better, but what I want to say is there's people who obviously have no problem figuring out what this shadow is, what this bad side is, because it's all over the place. If they look at themselves, there is more or less only this tendency. But of course, only from the perspective of sane people, of more or less centered people, perspective of society. I could go on with the list, like having doing strange practices in their sexual life. Man, I don't even want to talk about these things, you know. Um, Being sadistic, basically, being weird, talking delusional stuffs, and all these things. And then I want, at the moment I'm just claiming different things and I try to fit all the things together. I didn't have a straight way to approach the talk today, so this is how I do it. I hope you can just follow and soak it up and not, let go this conception of having the straight line today, okay? But now I mentioned some ways of how personalities could be described, considering the topic shadow work, And one more thing that I just want to put there as a topic, as an idea, a thought, is that wait a second, I need to make a small break, get me another coffee, and then we go on right here. Yeah, it is that self-perception is different from perception from the outside. So what you think about yourself is usually a little bit different than how other people perceive you. And this is why communication and feedback is very important. But there is another level of it. When people are delusional, when people are clearly abusive, clearly having mental issues, and they talk about themselves like they are angels and they would never ever do something like that, and that is all wrong, then these people are clearly in a delusional state, and you can't take them actually for, you can't take them as a real person that is responsible and fully grown up, and you cannot make them accountable, so you cannot give them a task as well. You cannot expect them to do anything, or even trust in them or rely in them in terms of any social tasks or responsibilities. So, self-perception and perception of others, how others perceive you, there is a difference, always. But in some cases, the difference is very high. A small difference is normal. A huge difference means you are indeed a delusional person, okay? And now I get more or less to the point, because I described things that I observe, and now I get to the point where I talk about how I rather perceive myself, and this is something different from the types that I described. But of course, some of you might feel the same way, and this video is also for these people who can identify a little bit with what I will say now when I describe my approach, my personal approach to shadow work. And my problem was a little bit, okay, I get to the point so your mind gets what it wants. For me, it was hard to find out where even is my shadow, because I rather feel like I'm coming from the light side, actually, like I am a light. I told you before, and I don't think that I am too delusional when I say this. It's not in my nature to lie or manipulate or strategize against people or steal anything. I'm rather too good. It's almost as if my parents and society, everybody who educated me, made a too good job at teaching me what is right or wrong. And then I read philosophy and you know, I just went this way and now I'm here where I am. And I also didn't have these occult tendencies at all, Hey, I'm back again. I had some funny trouble from outside, people, you know. Where were we? Right. See, yeah, I just put it simple. I feel like I'm spared of a lot of things that other people seem to have issues with or trouble with, or you know, and I'm very thankful for that. Yes, but what I want to say is, this is why for some people it might actually be not easy to find out, what is my shadow? What is even my shadow? Like if you read this stuff from C.G. Jung, or if you listen what other people on YouTube talk about this topic, they always talk about the shadow, and we're living in a bipolar world, and there is always light and shadow and the dark things, and and per definition it is things that you have not integrated, in your personality, or you kind of put it outside, so you push it in the subconsciousness because you not accept that this is part of you. But for me, I feel like in my let's say unawakened state, let's say when I was 38 years, now it's 3 years later, when I was, or let's say when I was 35 years old, so 7 years ago roughly, well, yeah, 6 years, I was like, where's my shadow? I'm like really feeling relaxed and well and nice and everything good. I have no needs that I am suppressing or any problems. I'm like an open book. I am not afraid to really show who I am to anyone, because see, it's all, yeah. So I'm not here to, telling all myself or to overshare, No, that's not the topic, but I think maybe some people can relate to this. They feel like, all right, I want to approach the topic shadow work, but I don't really see it with myself. I feel good the way I am, and I feel like most things in me are just loving, caring, full of light, accepting other people, all the good stuff, basically, right? All right. Coming from this point, what happened in my life? I attracted the worst person you could ever think of, and right now I had a small incident with the person living above me, you know what I'm saying? And I don't say she's the worst person ever, but what I want to say is probably we attract, let's say I attracted the worst person you could ever think of. And also, yeah, all kinds of narcissists. Then from looking from a perspective from the outside, this is harmony. There is one person who is light, one person who is darkness. This is harmony. This is bipolar world. This is the world we're living in. But of course I cannot stay together with these people. So what do I have to do? I have to activate parts that we might call shadow. I have to be intolerant towards these people. I have to start making boundaries and say, no, I don't give you a chance. Back in the day, I was living like Jesus, and this is why you wanted to crucify me. This is why you wanted to kill me. And this is actually the idea why if I want to learn or think about, they say Jesus died for us. So I tell you why he died for me. This is what I can extract from this. He did that for me, in my case, because this teaches me I don't have to do it. I can follow his way to a certain point. But Jesus did it to prove that the evil people, the Romans who wanted to kill him, they will not stop. They have no shame. They will never understand. They will kill him. All right? For his goodness. And so I don't have to do it. I can go to a certain point, and then the people have revealed themselves in us. They showed in us that they are not worth my respect, my tolerance. And then I have to imply this now. I have to integrate some darkness in myself. Or let's say I have to activate some programs and be selectively intolerant to people. Not to everybody, of course. I have to save my light. The good personality that I was with 35 years. I have to save this, and I have to put some mechanisms to it, some knowledge, and also, these things that we would consider or find in shadow work, like, as I said, intolerance and also aggression. If somebody like that tries to come close to me again, I will say, all right, we will not be friends. I will not give you a chance. I will not give you a second chance. I will not even give you a first chance. And if you come closer, we have a problem. I will show you my power. You cannot come closer, right? And we don't have to be friends, Yeah. So this is all the point where I wanted to lead this conversation. To the point to say, when you are too good, when you have even problems to find out what is even my shadow side, it might be that you have to activate it, that you have to... The most important is to protect your good things, your light, your care and love, empathy, empathetic side, emotional intelligence, tolerance, all these things for weaker people, for old people, for kids, for people who respect you, for people who need you. But you have to exclude some people, You have to find out who is a danger for you or for others. And these people, they will not stop when you are like Jesus. They will stop only when you use the methods these people would probably use, But still, this is something that is up to you to figure out. How do you do it and stay in the light, stay in the good energy, right? Okay, my people, this is my message for today.